Alright, how's it going everyone? So there's a YouTube channel I watch called Corridor Crew. They actually have very entertaining reactions. They also have interesting guests and insights to the visual effects they're reacting to. However, they put out a video on July 2nd reacting to multiple video clips, but there was one clip in particular they reacted to that was so different from their usual reactions. It was their reaction to the She-Hulk trailer. Their take was so bad, it made me want to make this video. Now, I'm not actually going to cover their entire video, just their She-Hulk trailer reaction, because I feel their other reactions are fine. The She-Hulk trailer reaction looked like some kind of desperate coping, trying to look for any excuse they can think of to dance around the problem that's blatantly obvious. As if they're getting something out of trying so badly defending an MCU product. Now, I'm not saying they got paid or getting paid defending She-Hulk. I'm just saying that's what it looks like. They may also just like all things MCU, and they don't like people saying any criticism about their favorite consumable products. Now, keep in mind, I don't hate Corridor Crew. I'm not going to stop watching or unsubscribe because of one bad take. I like Corridor Crew and their content, which is why I'm making this video. They just had a bad take I'm calling them out on. That being said, now let's get into the video.
It's been the most requested thing so far this year, and that is the She-Hulk trailer.
Cause we didn't ask for this.
So far, Bruce is looking nice.
Bruce has been looking nice for years.
Exactly.
They've literally been working on him for over a decade. This shot looks incredible. This is probably the best looking shot in the whole trailer for me.
You're definitely right. I think she's full CG'd out here.
She 100% is.
Yeah.
Is she actually CG for the whole thing? I feel like there's a few shots in here that they just green her up. And
No, she is. This shot, she's 100% CG.
What about?
That looks CG to me.
No, it doesn't.
It's like the movement or something.
I believe it's real.
It's like the weird like motion blur or something.
We watching the same thing? What is going on? That really looks forced. I can't tell if that's CGI or not! Like, what the fuck? Like, what the actual fuck? It looks blatantly obvious. I mean, come on. Who do they think they're fooling? Was that a bit they're doing? She has the uncanny valley effect through the whole trailer.
Yes!
It's going back and forth from utterly convincing to Shrek.
People have been complaining about the She-Hulk VFX, and it kind of comes as a long journey of a lot of general hate towards the Marvel movies and how bad their CGI has been and their overuse of it, and I think it's just been a little bit of a misdirection of angst. I don't know how to describe it. It's like they're getting angry that Marvel keeps using all the CGI, but it's not really the CGI itself that is bad.
Most CGI in movies is obviously being used, with a few exceptions. That's probably why people are not liking the CGI in MCU movies, because it looks fake. It stands out and they're overused so much. Critical Drinker put out a video recently, I recommend checking out by the way, talking about this problem in Hollywood.
What is up with this? Like, why is it that every trailer has to be like controversial or something?
I don't know, yeah,
Why do
right?
people get? I don't get why anyone's getting worked up about this.
There are so many people that are saying that the She-Hulk VFX are absolute garbage. Now, I'm not gonna say they're wrong.
I mean, they are. But yeah, hold on, they are totally wrong.
Yeah, they're totally wrong.
These aren't garbage VFX.
No.
I get it. People are being hyperbolic when they say the CGI is garbage or it looks like PS2 graphics. But they're regular people trying to say the CGI is obvious and it stands out. It doesn't look real, so it takes me out of it because it looks like a TV budget. Okay, this has nothing to do with anything. I just want to point out, what were the writers thinking? Is that what they did for their Tinder profiles? Do they think that's what people do to look attractive? Oh my god, these, like, you know, what would be like totally funny and stuff? If she made faces and stuff like on our Tinder profiles, the guys would just be like rushing to her like so fast and stuff. I don't get why nobody comes to our Tinder profile when we like do it. but we'll write it how things should be. Oh my god, Z's!
Well, I don't get it. This is like this dumb internet culture of like pretending to dunk on things. It's like, just don't see it. Like, you don't need to tell people it's bad. Like, everyone will make their own mind up.
Preach it, Sam, preach!
Yes, Sam, preach it. You certainly have all the answers. No, people certainly don't have any reason at all to dislike the trailer. The MCU movies weren't going to shit after Endgame. This preach speech is hilarious. I see this type of speak from friends and Twitter all the time. Now, I want all of you watching to keep what he said in mind, because this is going to come back as a contradiction later.
This is the best date I've had in a while.
This looks great.
This looks great.
Yeah.
I think this looks great for being 100% CGI.
Most of the shots in this trailer look fantastic, and this being one of them. Obviously, it's a close-up, so it needs to hit, right? You can't punch in on a janky shot.
But like, what is triggering their minds to be like, this is garbage? I think I've kind of identified why there's an issue. First off, people were reacting to the YouTube trailer, which was compressed. Because of the compression that they exported it out as, and then uploaded it to YouTube, that smoothed out all of those details, so you end up with a very like sort of rubbery, smooth green look.
This shot, you can see it right away.
Wait a minute. If that's the case, how are you putting the detailed shots onto YouTube then? I don't have Disney Plus, so I can't see the trailer on there for myself. But how are they showing the examples on YouTube if YouTube is the problem? Even if them or anybody say, well, you don't have Disney Plus, so how do you know it looks bad? It still has the uncanny valley effect in its animation as well, and there wouldn't be a significant difference between the two.
Typically in pop culture, women's faces are very like smooth, you know? Comparing her to say Bruce Banner, Mark Ruffalo's Hulk, there's so much detail there that we can see that compression just will not be able to remove.
I recognize beard, crow's feet, wrinkles on the forehead, the way his mouth is scrunched and these wrinkles here.
He's got freaking grizzly beard stubble going on. He's got wrinkles all around his face. You don't have stubble on women, which is a detail thing that you can simulate to kind of help make something have more detail. He doesn't sit in the uncanny valley for us. One, because he doesn't look that much like a human. His face is square. He's just freaking hulked out Chad up in here. And two, we're just so used to it at this point that it doesn't trigger our senses the same way that She-Hulk is doing.
Yes, I agree that in pop culture we see women as smooth and soft subconsciously, but our eyes will still see the imperfections. She-Hulk looks and animates very smoothly like a video game. Hulk may have more wrinkles and stubbles, but he still has the look and animation of the Uncanny Valley effect as well. It's been like that over the years. Now, I agree that we've all seen him for years in movies that were enjoyed. People got used to it, whereas She-Hulk is an upcoming character that has everything going against her. A long track record of bad movies and shows on top of bad CGI.
I just want to be a normal, anonymous lawyer.
That shot right here. This is the shot that I think most people have been reacting negatively to.
Yes. There is some smoothness going on, but it's also the animation of the face. It feels the uncanny valley. It's like gummy and like.
Yeah.
Well, they're setting out to do one of the hardest things ever, and let's make a CG person.
At least they acknowledged this is a problem. If it's the hardest thing ever, which it is, why not come up with other solutions? They chose to go CGI. But because it's hard, does that mean people should just give a billion-dollar corporation a pass? Well, that's up to you, but for me, and it sounds like for a lot of other people out there, that would be a no.
Two or three shots aren't like flawlessly, perfectly convincing. Over the course of a series, once you start watching it, you watch the show for 5 minutes, and then suddenly you just start taking the character at face value. And even if a shot isn't as perfect as the other shots, it's like you stop caring pretty quickly because you're not sitting there rating every shot in this series anymore. You're enjoying it.
This is starting to sound like an admission that it's bad. I'm not rating every shot, but I can still see the fake CGI standing out, especially in the slower shots.
Yeah. So granted, the story will be good, and the characters will be compelling, and you'll be focused on that.
Whoa, 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 whoa. What was it you said earlier?
Well, I don't get it. This is like this dumb internet culture of like pretending to dunk on things. It's like, just don't see it. Like, you don't need to tell people it's bad. Like, everyone will make their own mind up.
Like I said before, friends and people on Twitter I hear say all the time, "How do you know it's going to be bad? Don't judge it until you've seen it." But the same people that say that will praise the shit out of something they haven't seen yet themselves. It goes both ways. And if anybody argues, "You're just being negative and they're being positive." First thing, the MCU has had a recent track record of bad movies and shows, so there would be more criticism against rather than for it. Second, if nobody criticizes them, how do you expect them to get better? Constant praises is not going to help them when they're doing a bad job. When someone needs to get off of drugs or lose weight for health reasons and they don't put any effort into trying, you don't tell them, "Good job, you'll fix yourself someday," when they're just sitting around and not doing what they're supposed to be doing. But criticism isn't telling them they're a piece of shit and they'll never fix themselves. It's telling them, here's what's going to happen if you don't fix yourself.
I think it's the expectation that Marvel's at the top, and anything less than perfect is unacceptable.
That's the best summary here.
They've just outdone themselves time and time again. The bar is so high. They have to reach this almost unattainable bar, yet they achieve it every time. And if it's just 2% below the bar, it's like...
Well, let's not go nuts. Outdone themselves? The CGI has always been just okay, with a few exceptions for being good. The problem is the writing has been getting worse and worse. Now that bar has been getting lower and lower.
Seems like this trailer is a really good segue for some other cool VFX with that same actress.
Yeah, this whole video is honestly just a Tatiana Maslany appreciation video.
That's going to be it here. I've never seen Orphan Black. Not saying that's the reason I'm ending it here. It was just their She-Hulk reaction video clip I wanted to cover. Like I said earlier, I'm not going to stop watching their content because of one bad take. Well, that's it. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all later.
Find yourself in a delicate situation.
Darth Vader, proving once again, no one ends an argument like a Dark Lord of the Sith.